All right, so we're out at the woods and we're getting close to having some power out here. So power company was out. White flags indicate the route. So just like I wanted, they're using this area between the driveway and the property line, and that's where they're going to run the primary line. So that's nice. The white flags go all the way out to the pole. So works out well. And if we come back up this way, all right, so this here is going to be where the transformer is going to be placed, and then from there they got white flags again that come across, and that's going to be for, you know, the secondary or your house voltage, your 120, 240 or whatever. So what's nice about this, the way this is laid out, may be hard to see on camera, is they're coming straight in, and then from the transformer they're coming straight across. I was kind of worried they would cut diagonally across, and I didn't know like how exactly or where the cabin's getting placed, so I wanted the electrical back and out of the way so we don't have to worry about digging around it. So then we'll take a look at the meter base here. All right, green sticker means it's been inspected. I already talked with the power company that they got the inspection on file, so once their contractor puts in the underground, they can energize it right away. So, and all we got out here for now is going to be just a 30 amp 120 camper outlet. It looks like a dryer one, but it's not. It's just for camper, and it's just 120. And then a 20 amp GFCI as well. So, and then we got a couple of spots in here. If I can get this open. So we got a couple of spots in here for extra things. So we got a 200 amp main, then you got your GFI 30 amp for your RV. Then if we end up putting a well in, we got a spot, you know, before we put the house in, we can put the 15 amp double pole well in here. And then if we have a garage out here, or if I end up, you know, pulling power over to the pole building, we got a spot for that as well. So a couple different spots here. And then there's also a bypass from the meter, so you can run your 200 amps right to the home. So you could still use these for whatever else you got, plus you have another spot to pull for the house by itself. So that's nice. So the one thing I may do is put a lock on this here. So if we leave or something, or gonna be gone for a while, we could turn the two outlets here off and then lock it just so no one can mess with it. I don't know that anybody would. Electrician left this conduit here. That's going to be for the power coming from the transformer, the service. And there are a couple knockouts underneath here, which are going to be interesting if we pull out of here for the house. They're going to have to kind of watch what they're doing. This other one is just for the ground wire, and they got two ground rods buried out here. We do have a couple other knockouts as well. Like I said, if we do a garage on the back side of this unit here, then we can just pull from that panel and we'll be in business. So that'll be nice. All right, so I'm out at the woods here, and this is going to be a continuation. So last time I was out here, I was talking about the electric service. Now it's in. So electric company called and told me when approximately the contractor was going to be out here to put the underground in, and then shortly later the electric company would come out to energize it. And then they also said replace the pole. And when I spoke with the designer on the job, he said, oh no, we're not changing the pole. But they did change the pole, and I thought right away, well, why wouldn't they be? Because they're going to end up putting this riser on here for the transformer feed. So they did like they said they were going to. You can kind of see where it's down here where they came and trenched it in or whatever. I would have been nice to be out here just to see how they put it in, because I wanted to make sure everything was done right. But they gave me a window of, well, it could be any one of these days we could be out here. And I don't know, like, why they can't be more specific about when they're actually going to be out here. That there's really no reason why they can't be. But at least they stayed off the driveway. I was worried that maybe they'd end up digging that up or doing something stupid, but they didn't, so that's good. So we'll walk down, we'll take a look at the pole. All right, so here's the pole, and it looks like they put in a new anchor, new down guy, and then the pole. And this pole is much taller than what was here, and that's why I asked the designer, like, one, you're gonna have this riser on this side, there's a single phase tap coming off headed the other direction. Like, one, why wouldn't you be replacing the pole? Because the pole was much, I don't know if you want to say skinnier. And I suppose there's no markings on this pole. Sometimes they'll have them stamped in. Here we go. What does this say? So this is a 35 class 5 pole. So it's right there, it says 535. So that's what this one is. So this is a class 5. I don't know, the pole that must have been here must have been a class 7, and it must have been a 30-footer then. So that right there is going to be your rodent guard. That's so a squirrel or something can't get up by your cutout up there and your fuse, hopefully preventing an outage. So that's a pretty beefy cable coming down. I thought they said it was 1/0 that they were running for the primary underground, and then 4/0 for the actual service wire from the transformer to the meter base. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna get some tools from the shed and we'll pull that cover off and see. The other thing to note, there's like orange flags everywhere. Spectrum must be putting in cable or fiber. So there's orange flags everywhere out here. So they must be boring it in. So that'll be coming soon. So that's been like a project all over the state. They've been putting in that fiber. So, all right. So I popped the panel here. I can't get this off. This is where the service wires come up because the meter's on. They got it locked, so I can't pull this cover off to get into here. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I thought they said they ran 4/0. I don't know if that's what they ran. That's pretty beefy stuff. And then just looking at this, that there's going to be the feed through, a 200 amp feed through. So if we want to bring power off the house, may end up hooking that up to the shed, depending on how stuff works. But there's a little bit of water back here too, and I don't know if they used the right type of connector here. I kind of feel like they didn't. I feel like there should have been like something rubber in there maybe to keep it from, if that's where the water's coming in. I'm not sure. I don't think it's coming in from the top. It's highly doubtful. It looks like it's designed, I'm thinking it's coming in through there. So I'm going to give the electrician a buzz and find out what their thoughts are on that.